Welcome to the Rickynomics Brief. Today's episode is Google's AI search shift and the business risk to client acquisition. Brought to you by the Institute of the Americas for Strategic Business Intelligence. I'm your host, an analyst, and advisor, Rick Alonzo. As you all know me, Rickynomics. Before I get into the disclaimer, I want to extend a special acknowledgement and thanks to Ringmaster, also known as Patrick Quirk on Substack. He wrote a very insightful report called Google Replaced the Search Results with an AI Oracle. How AI is rewriting what you're allowed to know. In that report, it's technical and in-depth in terms of its level of explanation on how Google is changing from what we knew as the search engine that you ask a question and it pops a bunch of websites to what we are seeing today as an AI table. Now this website itself, Google, is answering the questions and we don't know where it's pulling from. And he goes to that technical detail. But when I saw that, I wanted to make sure that decision makers and investors and business professionals are well equipped to battle these changes. And that's what we're going to dive into. But first, the disclaimer. This is an unclassified brief for educational purposes only. This episode discusses Google's AI, artificial intelligence, search shift, client acquisition, marketing risk, SEO, also known as search engine optimization, paid advertising, and business development strategy. It is not legal advice. It's not financial advice, investment advice, or recommendation to use or avoid any specific marketing vendor or platform. The purpose is to explain how AI search changes the way businesses get clients and what businesses should do to reduce dependence on Google. Now let's get into the bottom line up front, also known as the executive summary. Google's move from regular search results to AI answer summaries creates a real business risk for companies that depend on organic search, generic content, SEO retainers, and paid ads to get clients. The issue is traffic capture. Google can take information from websites, summarize it into AI overviews and AI mode, answer the user before they click, and sell ads around that answer. The business may still help provide the information, but it may receive fewer website visits, less control over the message, and weaker data about where leads are coming from. Many businesses may keep paying for the old marketing strategies while Google absorbs more of the demand those campaigns were supposed to send them. The practical move is to audit Google-dependent lead generation, cut weak generic content, and build owned client acquisition through channels, through proof assets, referral systems, direct capture, branded demand, CRM, customer relationship managements, follow-ups, and better conversion systems. That ends the bluff. What follows is the report adapted for audio with key details preserved. For years, businesses treated Google as the bridge between a customer's question and a company's offer. A customer searched for a problem. Google returned websites. The client clicked one of those websites. The business controlled the landing page, explained the service, showed proof, and tried to turn that visit into a lead. That process is changing. AI overviews in AI mode move Google away from only showing ranked websites. Google is now becoming more of an answer system. The user can receive a summary before visiting any website. The business may still provide the original content, but Google controls how the answer appears, which sources are shown, which users is seen first, and what users see first, and where ads appear. This is not only a problem for publishers. It affects any business that uses educational content, service pages, frequently asked questions, FAQs, blog posts, market updates, comparison articles, local SEOs, and search ads to attract buyers. If that all sounds familiar, that might be your website. It definitely sounds like mine. That includes real estate agents, mortgage professionals, law firms, medical practices, consultants, financial advisors, local retailers, educational platforms, niche publishers, the Institute of the Americas, professional service firms, and more. A business owner may first notice a weaker lead flow, lower website traffic, or more expensive ads, confusing analytics, or pressure from marketing agencies to spend more. But the real issue is bigger than one campaign. Google is no longer sending demand to businesses. It is keeping more of that demand inside Google before the user reaches the business, almost as if it's an adversarial relationship. The old search model rewarded being found. A business could publish useful content, rank for the right search terms, get traffic, and convert some of that traffic into clients. AI search interrupts that path. If Google answers the question on the search page, the user may not need to click. The business may still help shape the answer, but visibility without a visit is not the same as a real lead. That creates a marketing spending problem, right? Many businesses will keep paying for keyword packages, blog calendars, AI-written articles, backlink campaigns, local citation work, and generic SEO reports. Some of that work may have value, but it should not be protected automatically. The old question was, can we rank in the search results? But better question now is, can this content still produce a business result if Google answers the question without sending us the click or the lead? Generic education content is the most exposed. Pages like, what is a home equity loan? What is the intelligence cycle? What is OSINT? Well, when's the best time to sell a house? How to choose a contractor? What is business intelligence? Are easy for AI to summarize. Those pages may still help build trust once a prospect reaches the website, but they are weaker at first touch traffic sources if Google answers the question directly on the search page. This does not mean that all content should stop. It means content has to earn its budget. A content asset should have a clear business role. It should help capture leads, prove expertise, answer buyer objections, defend reputation, support referrals, explain the service, or help sales follow up. If a piece of content does none of those things, it should not keep receiving money. The next risk is attribution confusion. A business may see lower organic traffic and assume the website failed, or the agency failed, or the content failed. That may be true in some cases. Don't beat yourself up too early. But AI overviews can create another possibility. The content may still influence the search experience while sending fewer people to the website. A page can help answer the user's question without receiving measurable traffic. That weakens the old marketing dashboards. Rankings, website sessions, bounce rates, and form fillers still matter, but they no longer tell the whole story. Businesses need a better way to diagnose the problem. They need to separate the ranking loss from the click suppression. They need to separate weak conversion from traffic capture. They also need to separate bad content from the platform level change. Paid ads create another trap. When organic traffic drops, many businesses increase paid searches. That can protect lead volume in the short term, but it can also become a recovery tax. The business pays for content to get search visibility. Google's AI answers layer keeps more users on Google. Organic traffic weakens. Then the business pays Google again for ads to recover visibility. Google captures value on both sides. Paid search can still work, but it should be treated as a controlled acquisition channel, not a blind replacement for organic traffic. Before spending more, a business should know its cost per qualified lead, close rate, gross margin, customer lifetime value, and channel dependency. If the marketing guy that you're contracting out is not giving you that, all they're doing is giving you bots and burning your money. So, in simple terms, the businesses need to know whether the paid lead is profitable. Message control is also becoming a business risk. A website lets a business explain context, proof, pricing, compliance language, service limits, examples, and buyer education. AI answers compress that into a third-party summary. The user may form an opinion before reaching the business. That matters for trust-heavy services, real estate, mortgage lending, mercenary work, legal services, medical services, financial services, consulting, business to business, business intelligence and strategy, advisory work, all depend on context. These buyers need to understand why one provider is safer, more qualified, or more relevant than another. A short AI summary may remove the nuance that helps a buyer trust the right provider. The response is not to abandon Google. The response is to stop depending on Google as the only path to the clients. Businesses need assets that make people search for them by name and convert once they arrive. That means case studies, client education sequences, email follow-ups, webinars, video explainers, referral packets, proposal templates, intake forms, review systems, and direct relationship channels. Reaching out to the community and footwork. Those things are going to be relevant too. Vendor risk is also rising. Many marketing agencies will continue to sell old services because those services are easy to package and easy to report. Monthly blogs, keyword tracking, technical audits, backlinks, local citations, and traffic reports are familiar products. The business risk is paying for activity instead of outcomes. A vendor should be able to answer clear questions. Which search terms are vulnerable to AI capture or answer capture, right? Which pages still produce qualified leads? Which content helps buyers make a decision? Which spend is defensive or defensible? Which actions reduce dependence on rented traffic? If the vendor cannot answer those questions, the business should reduce the scope or replace the vendor. The stronger path is a search resilience program. Start with a marketing exposure audit. Identify how many leads come from organic search, paid search, Google business profile, direct traffic, referrals, email, social media, repeat clients, and partnerships. Then separate the traffic metric from business metrics. Website visits and rankings matter, but qualified inquiries, booked calls, consultations, applications, signed clients, retained clients, and revenue matter more. Next, run a content utility audit. Every content asset should have a job. It should attract, convert, educate, prove, defend the reputation, support referrals, or support sales follow-ups. Content with no clear role should be paused, revised, or removed from future production plans. Then review vendors against business outcomes. This is when you got to ask what work is being exposed to the AI answer capture, which campaigns produce qualified leads, which ones support conversions or retentions. Ask which metrics are vanity metrics. In other words, just because it looks pretty on a PowerPoint, does it really matter? You got to also ask, is the content being owned by your own business? Or is it just valid because you're paying for more exposure? So that includes email capture, referral, and client education sequences, branded search development, direct outreach, and proof of assets. So finally, use paid ads with financial discipline. Paid search should be tied to margin, close rate, and capacity. Everything that's measurable, like that's going to lead to you being profitable and that it's cost effective as well, so that you can appropriately scale the spending. Analyst comment. The main mistake businesses will make is treating Google's AI shift as a technical SEO update. It is not only a search ranking issue, it's a client acquisition issue. Google's AI search layer changes who controls the customer's first answer, who keeps the user's attention, who makes money from the query, and whether the business receives the visit. Businesses that keep buying generic visibility without building own demand will spend more to control less. The firms that adjust the fastest will treat the search as one channel inside a broader client acquisition system. They will not treat Google as the center of the business. The practical test is simple. If Google answers the generic question without sending the click, does the marketing asset still help the business acquire, convert, retain, or defend clients? The answer is no. That asset should not receive an automatic budget protection. A quick aside, there is a high probability that Google has stored, maintained, or scanned enough data from all of the businesses and all the websites that are connected to its website and its servers to be able to answer questions. The divestment that's going to occur from middle to smaller businesses will impact margins on Google's side. Larger businesses will pump in money into Google out of reputational concerns, but I would say keep an eye out for how the market is going to behave, because if it is shown that businesses are paying to be seen and all that's happening is that answers are being extracted from their websites with no compensation in sight, there's going to be a level of retaliation that will be attempted to be buried under the rug, but it will impact the market. So keep your eyes open for that. 3 things close. Condition. Google's AI answer layer is making search-driven client acquisition less reliable by answering users before they reach business websites. The next action. Conduct a marketing exposure audits and cut spending that cannot be tied to qualified lead generation. The owner of this, the business owner, marketing lead, outside advisor for revenue generation, acquisition strategy, and vendor oversight. Full report note. More details and the written version of this report will be available on Patreon, Substack, and the website institutionoftheamericas.com. To go and dive into the technical details, I refer all of you to Ringmaster. He is on Substack as Patrick Quirk, and the specific work is called Google Replace Search Results with an AI Oracle, How AI is Rewriting What You're Allowed to Know. Highly recommended. In closing, this has been the Rickynomics Brief, brought to you by the Institution of the Americas for Strategic Business Intelligence. I am Rick Alonzo. Google search still matters. The issue is whether the business owns enough of its client acquisition system to survive when Google changes the path between customer intent and the company's offer. But until the next brief, may wisdom guide your decisions, may faith steady your steps, and may peace be with you.